Shalom. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. Peace, love, and salutations to the hopeful like Akim, teaching and preaching this truth with all righteousness and sincerity to Zakabasat. Today's lesson is entitled, The Lord of Hosts mustereth the hosts of the battle. And Lord willing, you be edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which are the true names of the Heavenly Father and His beloved Son in the Paleo Hebrew. And as always, the sit downs, the lessons, the street speaking is for the remnant, the elect, the Israel, the Most High, to use the gospel preached. So as of today, January 3rd, which is the year Elder Apostle Tahar coined the year of the year of apostasy, agents, and sellouts. And it's already starting off with a bang. All right, you had the U.S. bomb Venezuela with large scale strikes. All right, which was missiles landing in the capital city of Caracas, and it's their efforts to have a war on drugs, which ultimately they want the oil reserves from Venezuela. But the point is of this video is that the Lord is assembling these different kings of the earth to go to war. All right, and that lets us know what time and season that we in. So I'm gonna play these little clips here, going to Isaiah 13, and Lord willing to be edifying to the Lord's elect.
President Donald Trump says the U.S. has captured Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro and his wife.
President Trump also confirming that overnight strikes in Venezuela were carried out by the U.S.
Amor. Ay, no.
Those loud blasts could be heard for miles, and the gigantic fireballs lit up the night sky in the Venezuelan capital of Caracas overnight. You see the helicopters in the sky there. President Trump called this overnight operation a large-scale strike. The capture of both Maduro and his wife were carried out by the Army's Delta Forces, an elite special operations group, only after the CIA had identified Maduro's exact location. The couple will be flown to New York today, where they face multiple federal charges, including narco-terrorism.
Aquí lo que podemos conseguir es el humo. Ese humo que hay que huele como a crebalina.
This man who lives in Caracas says he could feel the aircrafts flying by, of course, feel and see the explosions as well. He says there were at least 8 blasts there before all he could see was smoke. Venezuelan officials called the attack barbaric and said it hit heavily populated urban areas. Unclear at this point how many Venezuelans were injured or killed in this overnight attack. We do know that no American troops were killed in this military operation. Now, the U.S. has sought the arrest of Maduro for quite some time. He's been the president of Venezuela since 2013. President Trump alleged that the Venezuelan president led a criminal ring called the Cartel de los Soles, which the Trump administration just recently designated as a foreign terrorist organization. Back in 2020, Maduro and 14 current and former Venezuelan officials were all charged with narco-terrorism, corruption, and drug trafficking in federal court in New York, alleging that they used cocaine as a weapon to flood the U.S. with drugs. Now, this overnight strike in Caracas follows several weeks of deadly strikes on more than 30 boats that the Trump administration says were carrying drugs. The U.S., you may recall, also seized 2 oil tankers that Trump claimed were being used by Maduro to traffic stolen oil. As we take a live look in Venezuela this morning, you see all the flags in the streets. It appears the people seem to be happy that the president, Maduro, has been taken out of the country. He has run an authoritarian regime for quite some time. He was reelected twice, although under kind of sketchy circumstances there. This is a live look in Venezuela this morning. You see plenty of flags out there and people out in the street.
I'll stop it there. So as you see the large scale strikes by the U.S. in the capital city of Caracas, which is in Venezuela. All right, and as I was mentioning earlier, and they was bringing it out. This is America, which is Babylon the Great in the scriptures. You know, their form of war on terror. The war on drugs. You know, they want to so-called stop the cocaine, the fentanyl, and all that, which is it's all lies. All right, it's propaganda. Ultimately, America want to get in control of the oil reserves in Venezuela. Venezuela occupy the largest oil reserves in the earth. And as you seen, you have Maduro and his wife in U.S. custody headed to New York, where Trump is gonna, have a speech on it. And ultimately, America is gonna set up, their government over there just so they can get in control of the resources. But ultimately, this is war. All right, this brings us closer and closer to war. Now, you have since had Russia and Iran condemned U.S. Attack on Venezuela. All right, and in the book of Isaiah, the 13th chapter, speaks about the Medes coming up against Babylon to destroy it. Ultimately, Russia is going to be a guard to Iran, Venezuela, and even EU countries. All right. If Russia is going to eventually shoot missiles upon Babylon the Great, which is America, and destroy it with fire, which ultimately this is the will of the Lord. So I'm going to read into Isaiah 13. I'm not going to read all of it. Just read some of it, hop around. This is basically a lesson going into how the Lord is making things happen. All right, he's bringing us closer to World War III, which the scriptures call the third woe or the War of Armageddon. Esau Edom, pursuant to Revelation 12:12, knoweth that he had but a short time to rule. So he has to do what he had to do in order to, cause all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive that technology. He needs that dominance to get people to submit to his order, right? But this is Isaiah, or Yeshaya in the Hebrew. He was a Judite, Israelite prophet during the time of the kings. He was King Hezekiah advisor, which King Hezekiah was a king of Judah, and he was a righteous king. So here in this chapter, it says the burden of Babylon. Now, when you go into this word burden, which this website is the Blue Letter Bible, you're also able to download the app on your phone. It allows you to go into the languages that the Bible was translated from to get a deeper understanding of what's written. Now, the blue letter does go off, so you do have to eat the meat and spit out, which means you have to spiritually discern it. The word burden, it goes back to the Hebrew word ma-sha-ah. Hebrew is read from right to left, and says a load, bearing, tribute, burden. Now, when you go into the Strong's definitions, we see the word prophecy here. So essentially, Isaiah 13 goes into the prophecies of Babylon. Now, this isn't ancient Babylon, the Neo-Babylonian empire ruled by Nebuchadnezzar, where they had some of the southern kingdom as captives in Babylon. All right. This is talking about the Babylon that you read about in the various chapters of the book of Revelation. Okay. The burden of Babylon, which Isaiah, the son of Amos, did see. So we're going to read about these prophecies that he saw concerning America. Lift ye up a banner upon a high mountain. This high mountain is America, this exalted and lofty place that ruleth over the kings of the earth, that have great influence and power and world domination. And the American dollar is the world reserve currency to buy oil. American language is the top language. American culture is a culture that these other countries outside of America pattern themselves after. This is the high mountain. Okay. And his banner is the truth. So the truth is going to primarily come out of Babylon, which let me run a parallel with this banner when we go to Psalm 60. See, here we focus on the prophecies, man. We're not finna just do a whole bunch of videos talking about keep the Sabbath days, which of course, you're supposed to keep the Sabbath days to the best of your ability. But here in Babylon the Great, the land of drawn waters, the place where we serve our captivity, where we subject unto payments. All right. We are on wages to put in a bag with holes in it. We pretty much economic slaves. We can't keep the righteousness, our righteousness, the law, the statutes, and commandments 100% here. All right. One is because we're in sinful flesh. All right. We're subject unto vanity. And second, the earth is given unto the hands of the wicked. You got Esau in power, right? So that's why we leaning on Yahweh Shai's sacrifice, which his sacrifice was an atonement, a reconciliation, a propitiation for the Israelites, starting off with the elect to be brought back in good status with the Heavenly Father. But this is the word banner. Well, this is a parallel with banner in Isaiah 13:2, but this is Isaiah 60:4. Thou hast given a banner to them that fear thee. Those that fear Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai is the elect, and Lord willing, we are part of that number. That it may be displayed because of the truth, say la. So this banner is synonymous with the truth being displayed. So back in Isaiah 13:2, lift ye up a banner, the truth upon the high mountain, upon America. Exalt the voice unto them, shake the hand, which this goes into a form of rebuking this place. All the lies, the robbery, the theft, even what we saw in this video here, you know what I'm saying? You got people in the streets rejoicing, that could all be propaganda, you know what I'm saying? I speak as a man, this guy, Maduro, he wasn't bowing the knee to America's threats and agenda because they backed by Russia, So what America did was they used their sword, the missiles, and dropped bombs over there. Sent the Apache helicopters over there, Use their Palantir, they surveillance, they security, they high class technology, and they found this guy. All right. They want to do a war on drugs. Meanwhile, when you go to the doctor, that's the first thing they want to give you is some damn drugs. So it's all full of lies and hypocrisy. It says, shake the hand unto them that they may go into the gates of the nobles. So as we bringing out this truth, the nobles, the elites, they hear it. That's why they know that they have but a short time. They listen to the videos. They watch Elder Apostle Tahar and all the bishops and elders bringing out this council, the council of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, which this council is going to stand. It's going to come to pass. And, these elites, they know about this. They know about us. It says, I have commanded my sanctified ones, the prophets. All right, the Lord putting a spirit on us to do these videos, and Lord willing, we continue unto the end. I have called my mighty ones for my anger, which are the angels, even them that rejoice in my highness. So the Lord is appointing his men, the prophets, holy apostles and prophets, got the angels in the midst, all right, making things happening. Lord got this word going out. The judgments is going out. The sentences against Esau is going out. The Lord is addressing the wickedness that's going on in Babylon the Great. Lord got the angels working on the minds of the rulers and the kings to do according to the Heavenly Father's will on earth. All right. Things is happening. It says the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdoms and nations gathered together. Yahweh of hosts mustereth the host of the battle. So these nations are coming together to fight war, whether it's America and Venezuela, America behind the big nose people that own everything, fighting against Iran, all right, Yemen, Saudi Arabia, all these different clashings of the nations. The Heavenly Father is putting the spirit on them to do that because we're in a time of war. All right. Now, ultimately, before World War III fully kicks off, right, Esau got to push that MOTB, man, that implantable technology. So synonymously, while Esau is getting in position to fight this war, he got to crash this economy. He got to bring this, he got to bring the financial straits down so people will willingly accept his new world order. Okay. So expect this economy to get even worse. But as we were reading in the 4th verse, the noise of a multitude in the mountains, like as a great people, a tumultuous noise of the kingdom of nations gathered together. Yahweh of hosts mustereth the hosts of the battle. So the Lord is putting the spirit on Esau to do this. Man's goings is of the Lord. How then shall a man understand his own way? The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, and he turneth it whithersoever he will. So the Lord is ultimately in control. Verse 5, they come from a far country, even from heaven, even Yahweh, and the weapons of his indignation to destroy the whole land. This is talking about the ICBM missiles, the intercontinental ballistic missiles. That's going to be the great equalizer. That's going to bring the total destruction to America. Now, other countries will get hit, all right? But ultimately, America is the Lord's focal point for the second death, which will be by fire. So they're going to be coming from a far country. They're going to be shot from Russia, countries in the EU, China, Japan, Iraq. How ye for the day of Yahweh is at hand, it shall come to its destruction from the Almighty. All right, let's go down a little bit. 11, I will punish the world for their evil. So this destruction that's coming is a punishment for the world, on the world, because it's evil. And the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. So the nobles, the principal nation that's in power is Esau, Edom. So the Lord is going to visit these Edomites and all those that's joined hand unto them, and all those that ain't received his word and repented, those that's of Israel, the Israelites, they're going to get judged. They're going to get punished, and the wicked for their iniquity. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease. And what makes Esau arrogant is his sword, which is a blessing that Isaac gave him in Genesis, the 27th chapter. So the Lord is going to confound not only his sword, his technology, his surveillance, his advanced weapons, his lasers, his chariots, all right, which is his fighter jets. And you read that in Revelation 12 verses 7 on down, the war in heaven. The Lord is going to cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. They're going to sit in the dust. They're going to be slaves, the elites. And I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man in the golden wedge of Ophir. So as the Lord is bringing down Babylon the great and judging this place, the Israelite man, which is synonymous to fine gold, is going to come up on a level, right? So, hey, we look forward to these things, man. The justice and judgment Yahweh Shai bringing, the plagues and prophecies coming to pass, the Lord visiting this place, because we come up on a level, Then shall it be known who are my chosen. As it is written, it says, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall remove out of her place in the wrath of Yahweh of hosts, in the day of his fierce anger. All right, so the Lord is going to shake this place, America, with missiles, just like we seen here, man. And this is just what they chose to show us. We ain't got cameras over there. We don't really see the pressure Esau bringing out of the heavens down on these countries. We see 2-3 missiles drop or whatever. I'm pretty sure it's way more pressure Esau bringing on these nations that have these countries shook. But see, that what a man soweth is that what he shall reap. So Esau, seeing now, hey, it's not blood. Blood is gonna pursue you. You didn't drop bombs and kill so-called innocent people, which nobody's innocent, but Esau go around in the world sending missiles and bombing countries. Hey, America is gonna get totally destroyed by these other countries. And it's the Lord that's doing it, like we were reading in the 5th verse. The weapons of his indignation. Now let's get to the point where the Medes, which is Russia, all right, it says Babylon will fall to the Medes, and the Mede, once again, is Russia. And they already coming out condemning the U.S. attack on Venezuela. And Russia is a guard unto Persia, which is Iran. In other countries, when you read in Ezekiel, the 38th chapter. So continuing on to Isaiah 13 and 17, behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. So the Medes is getting stirred up. Let's go look up this word stirred real quick. Goes back to the Hebrew word I war. That's I, wa, ra, I war. To rouse oneself, awake, awaken. To be excited, to rouse up. So the Lord is putting a spirit on Russia to get roused up. They getting angry, They coming out, which these Russians is Edomites too. All right, but Esau is a house divided. They fight against each other. And Revelation 6 goes into that. The red dragon, the red horse, they kill one another. But the Lord is putting a spirit on them Russians, which is Mede, which modern day Russia is in the land of ancient Medes. It's in that region. Okay. So the Lord has put the spirit on Russians to get roused up. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them. Them is Babylon. The Lord putting the spirit on Russian President Vladimir Putin. Which shall not regard silver, and as for gold, they shall not delight in it. America can't make no deals with them Russians. Russia got a whole bunch of natural resources and different, things they have growing naturally over there to where they don't need to make any deals with America. They got China on their side. They got even some EU countries looking like they want to be supported by Russia because of how close they are. But America isn't going to be able to make any deals with the Russians. So they're just going to have to just go to war. Their bows, their missiles shall dash the young men to pieces, their military. And they shall have no pity on the fruit of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. So these missiles that get shot, they're not going to be emotional to where they have to, they got to, pardon little children and women. When the Lord send these missiles out, they just gonna bring destruction. In Babylon, America, the glory of kingdoms, like we were reading in above verses, the high mountain, the exalted place. All right, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency. A lot of witchcraft, a lot of sorcery goes on here. See, a lot of sorcery because the Chaldeans, they were magi's, they were warlocks. They were the wise men of the ancient Neo-Babylonian empire. All right. And Esau, he consult with demons and spirits and different things. So he can get information on the left-hand side to do certain things in the world, whether it's to get new technology, to deceive people, to get information on how to have the money in circulation, right? To distract people with entertainment, get wisdom and knowledge to have weather mod equipment to make a earthquake happen over here or hurricane happen over here. Esau has this God complex. But in Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when the Most High overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed by its sexual immorality with fire and brimstone raining out of the heavens. So just as Esau raining fire and brimstone, the modern fire and brimstone out of the heavens, as you see on the screen here, sending missiles, that's how Babylon gonna go out. All right. But we steps closer. All right. So I just want to speak on that breaking news. All right. 2026 starting off with a bang. Most High putting the spirit on the kings of the earth to do these war acts. And it's going to intensify. So we just got to watch and see. Lord willing, you are edified through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Kakwadash, and double honors to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us this truth. Shalom, Akim. Stay watching.